Okay, picture this. You're in a hospital emergency room, and it is pure controlled chaos. A patient gets rushed in with a really bad abdominal injury. Now, every single second counts, and the team is making these split-second calls to save a life. Their biggest fear? Massive internal bleeding. But the question is, where's it coming from?
So, in that kind of high-stakes moment, doctors are basically in a race against time to answer one single critical question. Get it right, and the patient has a fighting chance. Get it wrong? Well, it's a question we're going to dig into right now.
So here it is. The question seems simple enough, but the answer is anything but. After a major injury to the gut, which organ is going to cause the most catastrophic, the most severe blood loss?
To figure this out, we need to look at our lineup of suspects. We've got 4 major organs in the abdomen that are usually the main culprits in these trauma cases. But only one of them takes the prize for being the absolute most dangerous bleeder. All right, first up, we've got the liver. This thing is the largest solid organ in your body, a real heavyweight. Next on the list is the spleen. It's quite a bit smaller, sure, but it's like a big filter for your blood, and it's known for being pretty delicate. Then, of course, we've got the kidneys. You have 2 of them, and they're absolutely essential for filtering all the junk out of our blood.
And last but not least, the pancreas. This one's kind of tucked away deep inside, doing super important work with digestion and regulating your blood sugar. So there you have it, our 4 suspects. Any ideas which one it is?
Well, after you consider all the options, the evidence from countless trauma cases points overwhelmingly to just one organ. And the answer isn't just about which one is biggest, it's about a fatal paradox baked into its very job description.
And the culprit is the liver. Yep, an injury to the liver is what can cause the most devastating, unstoppable bleeding. But that brings up the real question, the one we need to answer. Why? What is it about the liver that makes it so uniquely dangerous when it gets hurt? The whole reason, the entire secret, lies in the liver's incredibly dangerous double role. See, it's in charge of 2 vital but totally conflicting jobs when it comes to our blood. And when trauma happens, those 2 jobs collide with absolutely devastating results. Now, to really get this, you need to understand one key term: highly vascular. All this means is that an organ is just jam-packed with a dense network of blood vessels. A good way to think about it is like a super-saturated sponge. And guess what? The liver is one of the most vascular organs in the entire human body. And this is where that fatal paradox comes into play. On the one hand, because it's so vascular, the liver acts as a giant blood reservoir. I mean, it's holding a huge percentage of your body's total blood at any given moment. But on the other hand, it's also your body's main clotting factory. It's responsible for manufacturing the very things you need to stop bleeding. You starting to see the problem here? This is how that paradox turns into an absolute catastrophe. It's a chain reaction. First, the liver gets damaged. Because it's a blood reservoir, you get massive, immediate bleeding from the organ itself. But here's the killer twist. That same injury knocks the clotting factory completely offline. So now, the body suddenly can't form clots, not just at the liver, but anywhere. The result, the bleeding just goes on, and the blood loss becomes life-threateningly severe. That clotting factory makes all of these crucial ingredients for a blood clot, things like fibrinogen and prothrombin. When the liver gets hurt, production of this whole recipe just grinds to a halt. It's like the fire station itself catching on fire. The one thing you desperately need to solve the problem is the very first thing that gets destroyed. So what we're left with is this absolutely stunning biological paradox. The liver is put in this unbelievably precarious position. It's designed to be our savior when we're bleeding, but it also happens to be our greatest vulnerability. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? The very organ designed to stop bleeding is also the one that can bleed the most. The liver's 2-sided nature is a marvel for sure, but it's also exactly what makes an injury to it so incredibly dangerous. The system that's meant to protect us becomes the very source of its own failure. And that leaves us with one last really fascinating thought. When you see this delicate, dangerous balance inside the liver, it just makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secrets, what other dangerous paradoxes are hiding deep inside the incredible machine that is the human body?